Welcome, brave soul, I am the forgotten storyteller. Before we begin, tap that like button if you dare, and drop a comment below telling me where in the world you're listening from. And if you make it to the end of this video, I hope to see you in the next story. I hope you're ready, because I am. Let's begin.
The bouncy castle vibrated with the joyous shrieks of toddlers. Balloons, tied in unruly bunches, strained against their strings, eager to escape into the clear blue sky. Donna's first birthday party was everything her parents, Emily and David, had envisioned: a perfect, sun-drenched celebration in their meticulously manicured backyard in the quiet suburban town of Meadow Creek. And then there was Mr. Giggles. He was a caricature of every clown cliché, a rainbow-colored jumpsuit that seemed perpetually too short, revealing striped socks that drooped around his ankles, an impossibly large red wig that sat precariously on his head, and a painted-on smile that stretched from ear to ear. But it was his eyes that were unsettling. They were a glassy, almost vacant blue, like polished stones reflecting a light that wasn't there. Mr. Giggles twisted balloons into wobbly poodles, performed clumsy magic tricks that delighted the young audience, and even juggled a few brightly colored balls that he kept dropping. He was a hit. Emily and David breathed a sigh of relief. The party was a success. That night, after the last guest had left and the remnants of cake and smashed crackers had been cleaned, Emily tucked Donna into her crib. She kissed her forehead, whispered a lullaby, and switched off the light. The room was quiet, save for the gentle hum of the air conditioner. But when Emily went to check on Donna the next morning, the crib was empty. Panic clawed at her throat. She screamed, David came running, and the house was turned upside down in a frantic search. But Donna was gone. Vanished without a trace. The police swarmed the house, their faces grim. No signs of forced entry. No broken windows. No muddy footprints. The only unsettling detail, the only clue in the baffling disappearance of a 1-year-old, was a single red balloon tied to the rail of Donna's crib. It bobbed silently, a mocking reminder of the previous day's celebration. A year later, a palpable unease hung over Meadow Creek. Parents gripped their children's hands a little tighter, checked their locks a little more frequently. The disappearance of Donna Miller had cast a long, dark shadow. Then Kelly Reynolds turned too. Kelly's parents, Sarah and Mark, wanted to protect her from the pervasive fear, to give her a normal childhood. They decided to throw her a birthday party, albeit a smaller, more carefully curated one. And, against their better judgment, they hired Mr. Giggles. He was, after all, the most popular children's entertainer in town. The party was uneventful. Mr. Giggles performed his usual routine, the same clumsy magic tricks, the same wobbly balloon animals. Sarah and Mark watched him carefully, their anxiety simmering beneath a veneer of politeness. That night, Kelly disappeared. The similarities to Donna's case were chilling. No forced entry, no witnesses, no clues. The only difference, near the window of Kelly's bedroom, investigators found a single, oversized clown shoe print in the flower bed. It was faint, almost smudged, but unmistakably a clown shoe. The community was now in full-blown panic. 2 young children, vanished without a trace. The only common denominator, Mr. Giggles. Yet, he remained untouchable. The police questioned him, scrutinized his past, but found nothing. He had a clean record, a solid alibi, and a seemingly mundane life as Alan Griggs, a respected elementary school teacher. 4 months had passed and the atmosphere in Meadow Creek was suffocating. Birthday parties were canceled, playdates were postponed, and the laughter of children was replaced by the whispered anxieties of their parents. But life, as it always does, found a way. Max Peterson was turning 3, and his parents, desperate to cling to some semblance of normalcy, decided to host a small, private celebration. Only close family and one entertainer, Mr. Giggles. They knew the risks. They were terrified. But they convinced themselves that it couldn't happen again. They would be vigilant. They would protect their son. That night, Max was taken. The whispers turned into shouts. "It's the clown," people hissed, their eyes filled with fear and suspicion. The police, under immense pressure, questioned Mr. Giggles again. They searched his house, his car, his life. But they found nothing concrete. He remained a ghost, a shadow, just out of reach. This time, however, there was a new detail. Max's toy box was found open, and inside, nestled amongst his stuffed animals and building blocks, was a folded balloon. It was shaped like a crying child, its tiny balloon tears frozen in a silent scream. The fear was now a living, breathing entity, consuming Meadow Creek. Many parents refused to even speak the word clown, as if uttering it would summon some malevolent force. But Paul, with his innocent eyes and infectious giggle, was turning 4. His mother, a single parent struggling to make ends meet, couldn't afford to disappoint him. A discount booking brought Mr. Giggles back again. She told herself it would be all right. She would watch him like a hawk. She woke in the middle of the night to the sound of faint, echoing laughter. It was a child's laughter, but distorted, somehow, wrong. Paul was gone. This time, there was evidence. Security footage from a neighbor's house showed a blurry figure in clown makeup carrying something wrapped in a red sheet at 2:13 a.m. The image was grainy, the resolution poor, but it was enough. The police released a warning, a description, but still had no suspect. And then there was the cake. Paul's birthday cake, left on the kitchen counter, was found the next morning, half-eaten. Tiny, childlike bite marks rimmed the edge, bite marks that didn't match Paul's. The implication was horrifying. A year later, another girl called Kelly, her parents, paralyzed by fear, had vowed to avoid any and all birthday celebrations. But Kelly, a bright, headstrong girl, begged for a party. She wanted a clown. They caved. But they didn't hire Mr. Giggles. They hired a different clown, a local college student trying to earn some extra money. They vetted him thoroughly, checked his references, and even had him fingerprinted. Mr. Giggles showed up anyway. He stood on their doorstep, his painted smile unwavering, his glassy eyes fixed on Kelly. He insisted it was a mix-up, a scheduling error. He tried to play it off as a surprise appearance. The parents, their blood running cold, told him to leave. That night, little Kelly disappeared. The community erupted. The media descended upon Meadow Creek, turning the once peaceful town into a circus of flashing lights and shouting voices. The police, desperate to salvage their reputation, launched a full-scale investigation. Every known clown in the area was questioned, their lives dissected. Then, a sharp-eyed detective, reviewing old yearbooks, made a connection. Mr. Alan Griggs, the mild-mannered elementary school teacher, bore a striking resemblance to Mr. Giggles without makeup. The detective felt a cold dread creep up his spine. He wanted to get a warrant for Alan Griggs' home. The raid on Alan Griggs' home was swift and brutal. Inside, hidden behind a locked door in the basement, they found a macabre collection. Birthday photos, party favors, deflated balloons, and haunting recordings of children's laughter. The clown outfit was there, stuffed in a duffel bag, stained with blood and torn in places. It was the stuff of nightmares. Griggs had used his trusted position as a teacher to monitor families, select his targets, and time his clown bookings with chilling precision. He was a predator in disguise, hiding in plain sight. They found a scrapbook, meticulously curated, labeled the special ones. Each child's name was written beside a date, sometimes followed by chilling notes. Donna, sweet breath, blue eyes. Still cries for mommy. Max, wanted me to read a bedtime story. Almost made me stop. The children themselves were never found. Only traces remained, tiny shoes, a tattered pacifier, a music box with Donna's name scratched into the side. Griggs was arrested, his face devoid of emotion. He showed no remorse, no regret. He insisted that they were his children now, that he had saved them from the horrors of the world. He was a monster, wrapped in the brightly colored guise of a children's entertainer. But while awaiting trial, Alan Griggs took his own life in his cell. He left no note, no explanation, just an empty space where a human being had once resided. After his death, a wave of paranoia swept across the country. Parents, haunted by the images of Mr. Giggles, began scrutinizing their children's party photos. Some recognized him lurking in the background, uninvited, a silent observer at celebrations they had no memory of him attending. Months later, in a quiet town far from Meadow Creek, another child disappeared on their birthday. No clown was hired. But a neighbor swore they saw a man with a red balloon leaving the house that night. Let us know in the comments, if you are a parent, would you have been throwing a party for your child and hire Mr. Giggles for the entertainment?
Ready for spine-chilling tales that will haunt your thoughts? Subscribe to Forgotten Storyteller for eerie narrations, unsettling mysteries, and haunting stories you won't forget. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a story, because some stories refuse to stay buried. Join us, if you dare.